Spongebob Battle for Bikini Bottom is an open-world 3D platformer that was originally released on October 31st of 2003 for the PlayStation 2, GameCube, and Xbox. And there was also a version of the game that released on the Game Boy Advance, but we're not going to talk about that. Now, this game is highly regarded as one of the greatest 3D platformer collectathons of its time, and is often revered by young millennial and older Gen Z gamers as a highly influential game in their childhoods. The game has fun platforming, rewarding collectibles, and obviously features the magical undersea world of SpongeBob SquarePants, which was at its cultural peak in 2003. The game, while in the back of many gamers' minds through the almost 2 decades after its release, has seen a major resurgence in recent years thanks to its vibrant speedrunning community. Because of this revitalized interest, it's no surprise that THQ Nordic, the current holder of Nickelodeon's license for games, announced on June 5th, 2019, that it would be publishing a complete ground-up remake of the game developed by Purple Lamp Studios, which would be released the following year. This generated quite a bit of hype, and the brief yet telling screenshots and short gameplay excerpts released over the next year only fed the excitement, demonstrating remarkably improved graphics, yet very faithful recreations of the levels people know and love. Finally, on April 16th, 2020, the developers of the game revealed that it would be released on June 23rd, 2020. The hype was at its peak, as hundreds of excited fans were pre-purchasing the game. Finally, the time came and the game was playable. I'm ready! Soon after release, people started giving the game reviews. IGN, the company notoriously known for handing out high ratings and praising mediocre games, often calling them Game of the Year, rated Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated a 5 out of 10. And just for comparison, Modern Warfare 3 got a 9 out of 10. And the Knack, the Sony exclusive of the PS4 launch title that nobody f***ing liked, Knack got a higher score than Battle for Bikini Bottom. The game, at a surface level, was stunning and visually pleasing, but any deeper and the flaws became almost immediately noticeable. Although, die-hard fans didn't take too kindly to the harsh reviews. I wanted to get to the bikini bottom of this story to tell if this polarizing game is the real deal or a deep-sea dud. My team and I went to work. We played through about a quarter of the game, and here's what we found out.
This game sucks.
2 days later.
Like most people, I was extremely excited for the new Battle for Bikini Bottom game. I'm a huge SpongeBob fan. Anyone that knows me knows I love that show. In fact, I probably have the 2nd and 3rd season memorized word for word, almost. The trailer they showed off looked pretty good. I mean, the visuals looked great, the gameplay looked alright. There was nothing crazy about it, but there was nothing game-breaking about it either. Which really sucks, because the game is absolute dog. Now, I didn't grow up playing this game, so I have no nostalgia attached to it. I did play the original 2 years ago. I played through it, I beat it. I didn't 100% it, I just played to completion. I absolutely hated it. Sorry.
Have mercy on me. I'm a castle. No!
It was not great, but when I saw the trailer for the new one, I was like, hey, that looks pretty good. I think I might enjoy playing that. So I bought it. I had a discounted rate, which was like $4 off on Steam if you pre-purchased it, and I totally regret buying it because I spent almost $30 on that game. It was just an utter disappointment. There was really no improvement on the game aside from visuals. Legit, it's a straight up copy and paste. I mean, I don't know what I expected. I figured it'd be better. And even though the visuals have improved, I was actually kind of disappointed. Like, you start out in SpongeBob's house and the textures aren't even that great. The game, I'm not gonna lie, it's not visually impressive. Like, the floor texture is straight up just like a PNG image. I mean, you're gonna do a remaster, like a remake of a game, you're really not gonna focus on the visuals? Come on. The visuals do improve once you get outside, like in Jellyfish Fields, everything's kind of bright and colorful, which I did enjoy. And the grass was actually grass, not just a flat texture, which was cool to see, you know?
So they improved the visuals, but what about the gameplay and the combat?
I mean, the combat in this game is nothing to brag about. It's terrible combat.
Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not playing this game for the combat. I'm playing this game because I like SpongeBob. So much so that I'm even wearing this horribly fitting shirt.
Hey, it fit 3 years ago. For a game that puts so much emphasis on combat with constant enemies throughout the levels and is literally classified as a 3D platformer, the combat and platforming in this game are seriously lacking. Compare this game to another game in the genre, and it's so painfully obvious that this game does not hold up. Take a look at Mario 64. Here we go! This game came out in 1996. That was 24 years ago. In 1996, Nintendo was able to create what is considered even today the golden standard for platforming. This game holds up wonderfully. Sure, the visuals don't look that great, but the art style still looks incredible. And what really makes this game fantastic is the movement and control you have with Mario. In this game, Mario's equipped with tools and techniques that when combined make for an amazing experience. Mario can move freely and use these moves whenever. You can jump, double jump, triple jump, wall kick, long jump, backflip, somersault, ground pound, duck, swim, dive. You aren't locked into boring linear movement, you have the freedom to use these moves to traverse the landscapes and carve out your own path. Compared to Spongebob, where your moves are extremely limited, offering only a jump, a double jump, and a sneaking option.
Swing this hoodie, I'm coming for that.
Yes, there are instances where you can transform Spongebob into a ball and roll around, but the ball shouldn't even be necessary in some of these situations. You see this clip right here? Spongebob is clearly able to jump up to the height where he would be able to pull himself up, and yet he isn't able to. Why? You're literally forced to use the sponge ball just to go off of the ramp so that you can destroy this machine, which makes a hole in the fence so that you can walk to the other side. Now, if this sponge ball isn't necessarily your thing, there's also tongue boarding. You can slide down slopes using SpongeBob's tongue. Now, don't get me wrong, the tongue sliding is actually kind of fun, and I'm a huge fan of slides in video games. But it's not that impressive in this game, and certainly didn't need an entire level dedicated to it. I'm looking at you, Sand Mountain. I don't know, the tongue sliding and sponge ball just feel forced. Of course you could compare it to Mario 64 or Mario Sunshine with the different caps and flood nozzles, which are forced upon you in order to collect certain shines or stars, but they still have charm to them. There are those stars where you aren't really certain how to get and leave you puzzled wondering how to obtain them. And once you're introduced to that new cap, it hits you with that feeling of, oh, that's how I get it.
Hey, remember 3 minutes ago when we were talking shit about the combat in this game?
I mean, the combat in this game is nothing to brag about. It's terrible combat.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Oh, God, what is... What the f...
Normally, I wouldn't dig into the combat of a platforming game too hard, but this game is riddled with so many enemies and is constantly spewing out more and more. Literally, because, you know, that's part of the lore of the game. You have to destroy the robot spawners. Okay, dude, seriously, change your shirt. Now that's much better. The combat is so heavily tied into the story and gameplay, and they literally added a brand new horde mode that is very combat oriented because it's a horde mode where you fight hordes of enemies. Which, by the way, looks like this.
Who thought this was a good idea? I forgot my towel!
I was actually really interested in this because I wanted to play with my friend. You know, my friend Zareef. Me and him are huge Spongebob fans, so of course I'd want to play this game with him, which we did. And oh my god, was it terrible. Oh, it's a boss.
Uh-oh. Oh yeah, so this was the cut boss from the original one.
Did you
if
skip
you
it?
Go to the... I didn't skip it.
I didn't skip. What the?
I think... Bro, yeah, this is like...
It's like they
really
just
low energy.
Yeah, they just threw it in like, hey, we got this extra asset for this boss. What do we do with it? Yeah.
Dude, this is like a less fun version of Geometry Wars.
It was so f***ing terrible. It feels like the developers just threw it in there last minute just to slap multiplayer on their game so that more people would be inclined to buy it. The horde mode is absolutely broken on PC. I don't know if anyone else has had the same experience, but me and Zareef couldn't even get past like a certain point. Look how much more we have to do, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh, what? It
Better be like, oh.
doesn't let me press continue.
It's not letting me press continue either. What the fuck?
Is the game just f***ing broken?
This game is so bad.
It would just stop working at a certain section. No matter what we did, we restarted the game, we left the lobby, we rejoined the lobby, we tried public, we tried private. It just wouldn't work. You know, that sucked. You'd think with all of that, they'd have a fluid and fun combat system, right? Yeah, you'd think that, but they did not do that. The combat in this game blows! It is so lackluster. You only have one attack animation. That may not sound like a big deal, but even Mario 64 had the 2 punches and kick. 1996, by the way. And your regular attacks won't even damage certain enemies, which, yeah, okay, because they want you to use the other attacks on them, but why would I have to do that when I am fully capable of being next to the enemy and attacking them?
But what about Patrick? He has a stun. And Sandy, she has the lasso. You're not even talking about them.
Well, there's not much to be said. Both have the same atrociously slow movement speed, and Sandy can hover with her lasso. Whoop-de-doo! Yeah, there are other elements of combat, such as SpongeBob's bowling ball and guided missile attacks. Patrick can stun and throw enemies, and Sandy can also lasso enemies. But to me, none of these really make the combat feel any more fluid or fun than it already is. These are just extra options to attack. You're probably thinking, why are you so worked up over this kid's game? And to that I say, this isn't a kid's game, okay? This game was clearly released to capitalize on the nostalgia-blinded fans of the previous game, which yes, they were kids when the game came out, but are not kids anymore. Do you understand why I'm upset?
Why don't you just like the game? Whoa, okay, I have no idea who you are, but everyone has a right to their own opinion. I can like or hate whatever the hell I want. You know what? Screw you! What are you doing? Huh. Well, joke's on you. Ever since birth, I've been impervious to stab wounds. Huh. Well, in that case, this should do the trick. Wait, what? Hey, whoa, whoa, whoa! See ya!
Why is Gary a playable character? Look, I could sit here all day and complain about level design and other minor gripes and stuff I have with the game, but I think I've made my point. I think if the developers actually cared enough to make the game better, this would have been a huge success with more than just nostalgia blinded fans. People like me, or people like maybe you, that don't have anything attached to this game, but they just want a fun platformer collect-a-thon game to play. I really wanted to like this game, especially because I hated the original, and I just couldn't like this game. It's just not good. I would not recommend this game. Thanks for watching my shitty opinions.